Hey, this is Wild Bill. I'm down here at world headquarters of Danny Mingua Custom Floats. Gonna talk to Danny about how he makes these floats and how he got started and how long he's been doing it. So tell us all about it, Danny.
How's it going, guys? All right, well, this is the shop. It's not real big, but only a couple of us in here working, usually just me and my dad, so don't need a whole lot of space. We put out a lot of work. Basically, all my floats are handmade. They all start from a solid block of cedar, just like this.
Where do you get the cedar at?
Actually, I get it at Menards right now. I used to get it from the Amish. Yep, actually, and behind that poster, there's 2 rows of the old red cedar that I used to use. And we switched it up because this is a little bit lighter. Okay. And it's more available, I guess, you know, as far as a finished size. Okay. Basically, you know,
why you choose that particular type of wood?
Well, we use the cedar because it takes like a long time for it to waterlog. It doesn't suck in water like a balsa or like a pine or something like that.
Them floats you got laying there, are them why is yours better than them floats?
Well, you know, these floats, I mean, they're made out of balsa. If you
90% are made out of balsa, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, a lot
90% of them, okay.
If you you throw that up against a wall, I mean, you'll end up with stuff like this, you know. You'll get split weights, and you know, yeah, if you step on these, you know, you'll actually end up breaking them. A lot of people do this right here. Tape it up, you know, keep the water out, which prolong the life of it. But I mean, that thing can bust.
Still a balsa wood float.
Still, you know, balsa. Yeah. Which they're not bad floats. I mean, they will work. You know, I'm not knocking them. They will work. Okay. But you know, when you got a float, okay, like me, I started making floats because...
How long ago did you start making them?
It's been 5 years.
Why did you start making your own?
Well, we started making them, you know, because I wanted something of my own, first of all. And I just got tired of buying them.
Yeah, better idea.
You know, the floats that I used to get a long time ago used to be old Kentucky floats. And when they first started making them, I don't know if it was the wood or maybe the shape of them or what, but they seemed like they was a lot better constructed than the ones are nowadays. You know, the floats nowadays, it seems like I get one, I fish a lot. I mean, one little crack, that thing will suck in water, and I mean, it'd be sinking by the end of your trip.
They mass produce them now, make them cheaper, make them quicker.
Right. And I just, you know, I wanted something better. You know, I wanted something better, and I started making them for, you know, me and my buddies and stuff, and then it just kind of took off from there. And the main thing is I wanted something with a light in it. I got tired of using electrical tape to tape my floats up and to tape on a glow stick and everything else. You know, I wanted something I could put a battery in and light it up, you know. So the very first stuff that I started making, actually in this box right here. You know,
any idea how many you made so far?
Oh God, in 5 years, probably, I don't know, 20. I bet 20,000 floats. Probably.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, we put a lot of them out. This right here, I mean, this is the very first float, really, that I ever made. I mean, it's the first lighted float.
The lighted float.
You know, it's that's all made out of the red cedar, and the whole top of this lights up. Okay. You know, and
the battery goes in.
Yeah, the battery went right here. It used to be the old style. They had you just slid a battery in it like that. You know, didn't have the clips or anything. You know, that come later on. But they work good. I mean, that thing still works like it did. You know. Yeah. That's the very first unlighted float right there. You know, I used it one time. Hit a 30-something pound blue. It's up there somewhere up there. But where is it?
It don't matter.
I don't know. It's up here somewhere. But anyway, you know. First time I use it.
These all prototypes here. What's this one?
Yeah, this here kind of stuck together. They've been in there for a long time. This is an old cigar float. Okay. It's one of the first cigar floats that I ever made.
You still make that kind?
Yeah, I still do. People still custom order them like that. You know? Not as many as the other style though. A lot of people shy away from this for whatever reason.
It looks like it's big and bulky. I'm not sure it is or not. Just look, it might not be though. Yeah.
You know, but I mean, they do work. A lot of people use them kind. You know, but everything kind of evolved. I started shrinking stuff down. You know, getting it as light as I possibly could, but still getting it to hold a lot of weight. Right. You know, that was another thing. I like to throw an ounce and a half of weight, and You know, a lot of the old Kentucky floats, ripsaw floats, I mean, they won't hold that unless you tape a bunch of foam to them or something.
Yeah, okay.
You know, and these, like, these are old Kentucky floats. Like, that's an original one. Them's the ones everybody always looking for, old fatty tops right there.
Oh, really?
I got a bunch of these laying around, yeah.
Are they still balsa floats?
Yeah, that's a balsa float, but it's heavier, so I don't know if it was different or not, but that float right there, hell, it's probably 15 years old.
Really?
You know.
Huh.
I got a bunch of these, but this box just kind of got some, you know, special floats, prototype stuff.
Right.
Got one signed by Roland Martin. Met him in a fishing show, you know, so
yeah?
signed float. Just cool stuff like that, you know.
Roland Martin endorses your floats, huh?
Roland Martin. But yeah, so, you know, I just try to make everything as good as I possibly can. You know, I warranty everything. I mean, if you break something, you get it back to me somehow, you know, and I'll fix it. And I'll keep doing that as long as that float will still hold weight and float. I mean, I'll keep fixing it because they last for a long time, you know.
Okay.
You might chip some paint or something like that, or you know, on a lighter one, maybe a battery clip goes bad or something like that. But you know, you get it back to me somehow, and I mean, I'll fix it for nothing. Send it back. You know, I stand behind all my stuff. So
okay. So if I wanted to order a special one today or a custom one, how long would it take to get it? Could I get it by Christmas?
It's usually, yeah, you could get it by Christmas.
Okay.
It's usually when we're busy. You know, I'll say like a 2 to 4 week process. It just depends on how busy I am.
Okay.
You know, if I've got 15 or 20 orders on the board there, you know, it's probably a 2-week process. But then if a bait shop throws something in there and I got to make 100 or 200 or 300 floats, then it's gonna slow everything down a little bit. You know.
You do offer shipping though too. You can ship it anywhere.
Yeah, I ship it anywhere in the United States or out of the country.
Let's see you make one real quick. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can
or
show you.
Maybe not all the way through, just your basics.
Yeah, I'll give you a sped up version here. So basically, take this block of wood, run it through the table saw, square it up. Okay.
Okay.
Then I'll throw it up on here, and I'll run the lathe and turn it round. Okay.
Okay.
So that's how I get them round. Now, after that, I'll chuck it up in here, and I got to drill it out. That way we can get the straw. You know, get the straw foot.
Use that same tool to do that?
Yeah, I'll use this tool to rip them down, and then these drill bits to go through. And that's the tricky part right there. A lot of people ask me how I get that hole through there. That's top secret right there.
That's secret. We won't show that.
Patience is key on that because you won't drill all of them straight. I've been doing it for 5 years. I still don't get them all straight. So that's the tricky part.
Okay.
All right, and then over here.
You drill them before you do this part?
Yep, got to drill them before this.
Okay, this is a finishing thing right here?
I'll run one here.
Okay.
And get that chucked up in there, and let's see, what are we going to run? Let's run a 10-inch lighted float.
How many sizes you make? How many offer you make?
I can make them anywhere from
all them
6
sizes on there?
I can make them clear up to 16, 17 inches if you want. I've made some really long floats for people who fish the river and stuff like that.
Really?
You know, and they'll hold, I mean, a bunch of weight. Like you want to throw some big bait, some big river bait, I mean, they'll hold it.
Really?
And, you know, all these programs and stuff, I mean, I run CNC stuff for a living. So, you know, I know how to program. I got to write all these programs to run different floats and whatnot.
So that's a miniature CNC machine, huh?
Yep. Yeah, it's actually called a CNC router is what they call it, but it's basically a mill just shrunk down.
Okay.
So, but this is what sped everything up, you know, because before doing everything by hand, I mean, that took a long, long time.
Yeah.
So we'll fire it up here.
Okay.
All the tools should be set. We'll let it run.
You don't have to do the whole thing, just the basic stuff there.
Oh, it don't take it long. It'll take it maybe 2 minutes, if that. I got to kind of slow down. Kind of come back up and cut the pocket out for the light. I'll actually try to get it to cut out. I'm going to try to get it to cut that knot out. got a float, you got the body of it at least.
Huh. Okay.
It must be a little dull. Sure it is. It's only made about 4,000 floats this year. Alright. So then after that process, we bring it over here. We'll sand it. Get it all nice and smooth. We gotta cut the ends off of.
There's a lot involved in making these, isn't there? A lot of steps involved.
Alright, we got the ends up cut off. Level this out. Alright, and that's all it gets done to it on this side of the shop for right now anyway.
Okay.
After it gets built.
Okay, what's the next step?
Alright, so then come over here. We gotta drill this out so we can put some lights in it.
Are these your most popular floats?
The lighted floats, yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like I sell more of those than I do the unlighted ones.
Yeah,
But it's not much more. You know, they stay pretty even.
Cost about the same too?
The unlighted floats, 15 bucks. Lighted floats, 23. So it's not that big of a difference.
But it's better than buying two floats separately, you know, floated and unflighted. That way you get two floats in one.
Right, exactly, exactly. And you know, they're made. It's basically the same float as my unlighted float. So as far as the bounce goes and all that,
Right.
it's all the same. Like the lighted floats, they bounce the same as unlighted floats, you know.
Okay.
And that's one thing about my floats is the way that they bounce. They just have an extra bounce. Like if you bounce that thing, it will sit there and keep bouncing for a good 30 seconds off of one bounce. You know, and that makes a big difference once moving your bait. It really does. That through there, that way we get the wires through it. I used to do all this with a Dremel tool and not drill bits and stuff, and finally, you know, after the years, I've made some tools to make some stuff easier. So. Drill that out. Alright, once you get at that step, now you can start building.
Okay. This is the wiring harness you put in there?
Yep. This is red, so we'll just make this one red. You can see that's all hand done. Them are 3mm LEDs. Okay. I hand solder all that stuff.
Okay.
Everything's hand done. Ain't no machine doing that. And with the way that they're wired, if one of those lights burn out, the other one will stay lit. And they've got a lifespan of like 55,000 hours. So I seriously doubt you'll fish that much with it. I mean, you could, but it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Slide them lights down in there like that. Open it up a little bit so you get that straw down in there. And this is all done before anything's ever painted. Sometimes I do paint them before I build them, but it's a little bit easier to not have to do that. So make sure that'll fit. That fits. Grab a top over here, a little plastic top. It's actually polycarbonate, so it's a lot stronger than plastic.
What's that straw doing for you?
Now this straw, okay, that's going to connect. That's going to connect your top to your weight.
Oh, okay.
And with that, I'm going to clip the end of this.
There's your weights.
With that, you got a smooth surface for your line to slide through.
It won't get stuck on that.
You ain't got to worry about it getting stuck on nothing. And so basically, we'll just fit that for length, all by hand, just like that.
You say you make your own weights too?
Yep. Yep, make my own tops and my own weights. I do have a place outside of Williamsburg, Ohio called Abe Tech. They've been making, more so in the spring and the summer, taking over and making my weights. Nope, that's not lead, that's aluminum. That's aluminum. And what that does is that keeps the balance of that float right there in the middle. And if I stick lead on it, it'll be more bottom heavy, and I like it balanced. It's just the way that it feels. If something swims by it, it moves. They don't have a bunch of weight holding it down there in place. So if something just barely brushes up against your bait, you'll see that float move. And that really makes a big difference. I catch a lot of fish without that float ever going under. It'll barely move one way or the other, and there's a fish on it. So you get that fitted, then you go like this. Now I drill my straws out, and there's a reason for that. The reason I drill them out, you ever get a float, you try to put the line in, you get all the way down to the bottom and it gets hung up, and you can't get it out, and you're sitting there for 10 or 15 minutes trying to get the line to go through, and you're just getting aggravated.
Right.
Okay. A lot of people's floats have eyelets in them that'll just fit in that straw. They don't want to take that extra time to drill that out the same size as that eyelet, that way it doesn't catch. The big bobber companies, they just throw an eyelet in there because it fits. They ain't worried about stuff like that. But I've been fishing all my life, and everything that I had to worry about, I made sure I took out of when I made my floats, Any kind of aggravation, putting lights on it or getting the damn line through it, any of that stuff, So, alright. Now that that's good to go, got it all drilled out, now it's actually ready to glue together. And what I use for glue on these things, and it really, really makes a difference of not having stuff come apart, is I use 2-part epoxy. And the reason I do that, just because of how good it bonds, it's really hard to get it to break apart. I don't think I've ever busted the top off of a lighted float. I personally haven't. There might be somebody out there that has, but I haven't. Let's see here. That's what we use right there, some 2-part epoxy. A little mixing stick here. For you real quick.
And you got it down to a science.
Oh yeah. And there's the eyelets right there. Now those are galvanized they're galvanized and they're nickel plated, so it should take a long time for them to rust. They will eventually rust, but it takes a while. What else do I need? I guess that's all I need to build a float.
That's some floats for that guy down Kentucky there, huh?
Yeah, Eddie Soward. If you see this, your floats are getting ready to be on your doorstep, brother. It won't be long. I'll ship them out Monday, and you will have them. I believe those are actually a present for someone.
Okay. These make great Christmas present for somebody.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Stocking
We usually get
stuffers
pretty busy for Christmas.
Yeah. You don't have an inventory already built up. You can.
Yeah, I have some.
Pre-made already.
During the winter time is usually when you'll catch me with some floats. Spring and summer, it's they go faster than I can make them. So.
Yeah, that's good.
One of these days maybe we'll get lucky and one of them Duck Dynasty guys will hit me up and want to help me out. That's what everybody around here always compares the bobber business to, is the Duck Dynasty thing. So I get a kick out of that. You never know, though.
You got the hair and the beard for it.
That's right. I'd fit right in. All right. So now.
So you mix the 2 parts up there.
Yep. Now we're going to glue it. And this stuff hardens up quick, so.
Put over the whole length of the thing?
Oh, yeah. This thing's solid as a rock when they're done.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
That's why I call them the toughest floats on the planet, because, I mean, they really are.
Yeah.
I sat here and watched my daughter beat one off the concrete for about 3 hours one day trying to break it. And she finally chipped it. She said, "Ah, Dad, I told you I could break it." I said, "You cracked me up, girl."
So you load that with that epoxy.
Oh yeah, I feel it. I want every bit of that in there around them lights. I want all that stuff just as full as it can be, because I don't want no air pockets in there. I don't want anywhere where there to be some place that it can fail, you know, as
Water
far
can get
as
in there.
water getting in it and everything else, you know. I want to keep them solid. Pop this glue on the bottom. Stick the weight on. Put the last eyelet in. Tape everything in place and let it harden. Once that all hardens and ready to peel the tape off, then it goes back on the lathe. I'll hand sand everything smooth, match the bottoms with the tops and everything, make sure everything's nice and sleek, and then it'll get painted from there, you know, whatever color it needs to be. This one's got red lights in it, so probably paint the top of it red, maybe hydro dip it red, one of the two. And that's it. I throw them up there and let them sit upside down. That way all that epoxy stay down there in that top half.
What do you got here?
Alright, we got a box of floats here. These are some ones that are done. If anybody does need any, hit me up and let me know. I've got all these for sale. These just don't have the bands on them yet. They're all done. You can see, like, after they're painted, clear coat, you know, the lighter floats, I actually put these clips in them. And that's where that battery goes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just take the battery like this. Just take a battery and pop it straight in there like that, lights them right up.
Let me see that light.
You see, they're super bright. There's
360 degrees.
Yeah, there's two 3mm LEDs in there, and I mean, they're bright. It'll run about 70 hours on one battery. I mean, depending on where you get your batteries at, they'll run for a long time. You hit that little clip, pops that battery right back out. And then once it's got the band on, you just roll the band.
What's this one here?
This one here?
Yeah.
That's a hydro dip float.
Okay, you can do that too, huh?
Yep, we can do hydro dip, pretty much any color you can think of.
Just one color?
No, we can do all kinds of colors. I've done them 4, 5, 6 different colors, you know, just depending on which one.
Same price?
Same price, yeah. I used to charge extra for a lot of stuff, and nowadays it's just one set price.
What do you mean by hydro dip? What you?
Well, basically what I do, like, that's white and black, so I painted this float, and I painted the top of it orange, painted the bottom of it white. Well, I'll take black spray paint, I'll spray down in this water, and dip it down in there like that, and yank it out. And that's what you end up with.
Really?
You get them cool patterns on there like that. And it's neat because you never get one the same, you know. And that's another thing about my floats. Even if it's just regular wood, no one will ever have the same float. I mean, none of them are identical. All the grains different, you know. And to me, I mean, that's cool. You know, you got one of one. It's not one of a million, you know. It's,
do you make little floats for like crappie fishing or bass fishing, or
yeah,
you just?
Yeah, sometimes I do. I don't have any of them laying around.
You know, talking about the little 3 or 4 inch ones.
But yeah, I make some little short ones and stuff. I actually make these too. That's an 8-inch float right there, but I actually make these clear down to 5 inches.
I like that size.
So, you know, for like channel catfish and stuff like that, I mean, they're perfect for that. You know, a little 6-inch float. It's the exact same shape. It looks just like that, but 6 inches. I think
use them at Windmill on
on
the small lake and Butler on their lake. You don't have to use them great big floats.
Right. Yeah, that's all you need.
That's
and sometimes, you know, when the fish are being real finicky and they're like not holding on to stuff, you switch to a little light float like that, and lightweight. You'll start catching fish when nobody else is catching fish.
It's a perfect size for my predators.
Oh yeah, perfect for those. Any kind of rod that's got that flimsy tip on it.
Yeah.
Them small floats are ideal for that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Get some more hydro dipped ones down in there.
Okay.
You know, we'll do some different stuff like these here. I think this one maybe. I might.
How can people get a hold of you when they want
to? See, that's got a different color light in it. We can do, I mean, any kind of combination you can think of. You want that float red, pink, purple, blue with a white top on it and a green light. I mean, we can do that, you know.
How can I get a hold of you? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Best way to get a hold of me is get a hold of me on Facebook. Go to Mingua Custom Floats on Facebook.
Mingua.
Yep, Mingua Custom Floats. Yep.
Facebook?
Yep, on Facebook.
Okay.
And you can get a hold of me here, 513-460-3749. And if you can't get a hold of me there, maybe hit up my personal page on Facebook. It's just Danny Mingua. Look it up. You'll see me. I'll look all scary from Halloween. That's a profile picture. So.
All right, buddy. We'll look forward to fishing with you this year.
No problem, man. Anytime. Thanks for coming out.